John, welcome to Friday night. How are you?
I'm
Looking
doing all right,
sharp.
Jason. I didn't realize I didn't have my tie as snug as I'd like it. There we
Yeah,
go.
it's been a busy week. I mean, we're coming up here on Memorial Day weekend. We just had the huge Donald Trump rally in the Bronx. And of course, my chasing down of Norm. That tweet went to 1.4 million views on the tweet. Unbelievable. My most viral thing ever, my most viewed video ever. I hope people are following me on Twitter at JG_CSTT. The following has absolutely exploded from this 1.4 million view tweet. So I hope people have checked that out. And of course, John, you've been tearing it up on Twitter. How's everything been going for you all week?
Very, very interesting week. A lot of developments with this whole bird flu thing. But I kind of felt like if the biggest story in the news right now is Donald Trump and Crotona Park, this is a good time to do a show that I've been wanting to do for months, if not a year already. And this is, maybe we'll explain the thumbnail to people. This is a focus on society. And I want to look at what does society consider to be the trappings of winning. If you've won, what does that look like? And how different is it from those of us who are still playing the game? How different? And who are these people that have accumulated this degree of wealth? I don't know if you remember this. You might be too young. Shaquille O'Neal, when he got his first big contract,
I know what you're going to say.
somebody said to him, "How does it feel, Shaq, to be wealthy?"
Yeah.
And I think the contract back then, I think it was with the Magic or something, it was like $135 million, which back then was like unbelievable. I forget, but it was huge. And Shaquille O'Neal said, "I'm not wealthy. I'm rich." The guy who just wrote that check,
Yeah.
he's wealthy. He's wealthy. And that's what we're going to look at. Now, today, Shaquille O'Neal's wealth is about $1 billion.
Wow,
Okay?
really?
Yeah,
Now he's wealthy.
So now, right, he could own a basketball team. He could. And
Oh
so
my
we're
God,
going
look
to.
at this. He also told his kids, we ain't rich, I'm rich.
That's right. That's right. So we're going to look at that. We're going to look at who are these people that have achieved a certain level, and what are. I think there's three legs of the stool, quite frankly, and we're going to take a look at what are the three legs of the stool to really have achieved wealth. And what does that look like? And what does that lifestyle look like? Who are the people who are living this lifestyle? And so I sent you a bunch of links tonight, right? You have a bunch of links for me.
Yeah.
And this is going to be a little bit different from what we usually do. Usually looking at spreadsheets and charts and pie charts and graphs and maps and all kinds of data and stories from around the world and the CDC and the WHO. This is very, very different. And I think it's interesting because of how little has changed since the Middle Ages. Meaning it appears to me that the roles, the jobs, the career choices that were kind of the big deal back in the 1500s, the 1400s, the 1300s,
Yeah.
are the same today.
Really? Rapping?
We're going to look. So we're going to look at that. So we're going to look
Tech
at,
executives?
is it the bard? Is it the athlete? Right? So we're going to look at what is it that you need to be able to do really, really well in order to get the private jet, the yacht, the mansion. All right. And so we've got a bunch of stuff queued up. I want to share with our YouTube audience a YouTube channel that kind of tees all this up for us. And it's a channel I really like because I like visualizations of data. And the name of the channel is Gravity. And we're going to go through the list in sequence and make it so easy for you. We're going to start at the top, go number one, number two, number three, and start, that's how we're going to go. So the first one we're going to look at are the private jets of kind of the rich and famous. And we're going to start out at kind of the base level. And if you don't have a private jet,
$500 million. Somebody. Okay, that's all we'll lead with the 380
potentially. So I don't know that he didn't go through with that, by the way.
or 747 or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll take a look at that. But the idea here is it's not really which is the biggest one. I'm more interested in the people in the middle. I'm interested in the people who've got one of these, and we're all looking at each other like, that guy's got a jet? It's like, what?
Yeah.
Because keep in mind, if you own a jet, that means you're paying a pilot.
Right.
Salary,
And mechanics and storing it and all that.
Big money, dude, to have a private pilot. So I used to live on Long Island near Calvin Klein's private pilot. And we were in the same neighborhood, so we bumped into each other from time to time. Guy lived in a beautiful house, and he's Calvin Klein's private pilot. So in other words, he's making big money, nice money. You got to have that guy on your payroll. So let's take a look. Let's start here because we're going to
start playing YouTube videos on YouTube. We're going to get dinged.
No. You're going to play 10 seconds of it to give people a sense. We'll show this when we get to Patreon. I just want people to get a sense of what we're going to be looking at when we go to Patreon. This is just
they're going to ding it. I'm not going to do it. Don't ask me to do it.
No?
Yeah.
All right. Can you show the next screenshot then? Don't play it, but just show them like the next setup. All right. So this one that we will go through with the patrons is about the jets, and it shows who's got the different jets. And when you start to see people like Travis Scott, the Jenner kid who's 21 years old, 22 years old,
she's got like $1 billion for makeup or something.
So that's what we're going to look at. So it seems that that's much more important to society than what you and I are doing, right? Because she's got a jet. So obviously society has said, oh yeah, no, this is big. This is what we want. We want more of this. So we're going to look at that. Now the next link that we have is going to take us through the yachts.
Yahtzee.
Okay.
Oh, it's the same. It's a good layout from this channel, I would say. The way
I love this channel. I love this channel. Again, they do these graphical representations. Maybe scrub ahead 30 seconds.
So this thing is called Gravity.
Gravity is the name of the channel. Love
yeah, I
these
mean,
guys.
they won't say anything, but there's a certain mentally ill loser who will start emailing them, telling them to strike the channel.
Yeah, that's what I want you to see. I just want you to get a sense for this is going to go up, up, up in price in the boats. They're going to get bigger, 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 and it tells you who owns
look at that.
them.
Abdulaziz also.
There you go. So we're going to go through this and look at who owns which yachts, who are the players, because it's one thing to have a really nice house in Beverly Hills.
Million.
That's what I'm saying. So it's one thing to have a nice house in Beverly Hills for $50 million, $80 million, $100 million home in Bel Air. It's a whole nother thing to have a $200 million yacht.
Yeah.
Because of the staff. You've got to have 50 people to take care of this thing. They have a full-time crew of 50 to 60 people, these super yachts. And so we're going to look at this video when we go to the patron only. Let's go to the next link that was in the message I sent you. We'll show people, kind of cue that one up. We won't be able to play them, but I want people to understand what we're going to be stepping through tonight in the show.
Isn't it annoying what the social engineers ruin it for everybody? Oh, yeah, this is cool.
All right, so this is sort of an introduction to this as well. So Jay Leno was out for a drive with his wife, Mavis, before she has Alzheimer's now. That's really gotten bad. And I guess this was 5 years ago, before it kicked in bad. And they're driving through Newport, Rhode Island, and she says to him, wow, look at that house. He pulls over. They both are like, that's amazing. And you can scroll a little bit. You can show people some more photos of this. This is wild. And they both decide, like, this is unbelievable. I've never seen anything like this in my life.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, this is like a story.
It's like Great Gatsby or something.
And so there's videos on YouTube. We're not going to watch all of them, but you'll get a quick sense of this. Jay Leno goes to the gardener and asks the gardener, might this house be for sale? And the gardener says, yes, it might. Jay Leno.
Everything's for sale, Jay Leno. What's your price?
So Jay Leno bought this mansion in Newport, Rhode Island, driving up the road. Saw it, made an offer, negotiated, and now he owns this house. And this is spectacular. And when we look at, so what is Jay Leno's job in 1412? He's the court jester.
Yeah.
Right, so he's the court jester. So not much has changed. If you're a court
But the
jester,
court jester was rich like this?
back then, the king's only got so many people he wants to hang out with. The court jester, the guy who can play the ding-a-ling-a-ling, the lyre, right? Well, they didn't have guitars or pianos back then. They had a lyre, bang, da, ding, ding, ding. And, right? And then they would have games, right?
I don't know, I always got the impression that the court jester was like always fearful of having his head chopped off.
If he bombs, yeah. I mean, yeah, if you bomb, they kill you. But if you're good, you live like Joe Rogan and you get $100 million deal from Spotify.
Didn't they just make it $250 million or something like that?
Well, there you go. So
can you imagine that?
If you're a good court jester, like who's that guy that was in the movie Mask? Jim Carrey, right? So Jim Carrey's an excellent court jester. He has a
made
private
a lot of
jet.
money.
Wait till you see his private jet. It's huge. So these court jesters, the best court jesters, have done very, very well. Now, what's funny is when you and I were kids, what I was told was you go to a really good school, you study to be a lawyer or a doctor or an engineer, and you work your ass off and you build a career and all that. Nobody told me, or you could be a court jester, and
drink a lot
tell
of booze.
jokes.
Yeah,
right. So if you tell jokes as well as Dave Chappelle does, you're going to do pretty well, bro. Okay, but that's still not wealth. So Joe Rogan is rich.
Really?
He doesn't own a basketball team. So the court jester
he could at $150 million plus $250 million. That's kind of a hell of a lot of money, isn't it?
But the $100 million deal was $10 million a year for 10 years. They had to step up the contract to $250 million because he got all pissed off so it's like renegotiating those NFL contracts, I believe. But now what you're looking at, what you have on the screen, this is 2600 Foxhall Road in Washington, D.C. This is for sale for $29 million.
That's crazy.
And let the audience see this because this is just spectacular.
Are you going to put in a bid?
I think we should. I think this should become Crowdsource Truth University, where we teach open source investigative journalism. This is the most expensive. Right, this is the most expensive home for sale in Washington D.C. proper.
Wow!
And this is the home of Brett Baer.
Wow!
Look at this.
Cow.
This is Brett Baer's house in Washington at $30 million.
That's like a bomb shelter.
Dude, this is
amazing. One
of the most amazing homes I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
This is spectacular.
Whoa, he's got a golf course.
Dude, this house is
he's
so
not even
well
that
done.
good. How does he have this much money?
I think he's been earning something like $9 million a year for some time.
Wow.
Maybe I don't know, but I'm talking about the lifestyle. I'm talking about living in a home like this, living on a property like this, having the servants, having the chef.
Yeah.
Right. Keep in mind, most of the guys in the NBA now, the big name guys in the NBA, now all have private chefs. Because their diet is such a big part of their performance, they don't cook for themselves anymore. They've got a guy who comes over and makes the meals every day, and that guy's now on the payroll. Right, so now that guy's on the payroll. So this is what I'm trying to get at, is this lifestyle. Do you know what it costs to air condition this house?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Just even running the house is an amazing
more than most people's rent. Right. So it costs more than $4,000 a month in electric to keep this place going, for God's sakes. Look at this.
I mean, what about insurance and, everything in it is going to break. You got to fix it all the time.
The maintenance to this, the cleaning.
Cleaning,
it's
staff,
remarkable.
Right.
Yeah, this is
It was like
remarkable.
a hotel. How many people are in his family? I mean, just like even walking around this
I don't
place would
know.
be
I
tiring,
wanted you to
wouldn't it?
see this. I wanted you to see Jay Leno's house because I want people
And
to
also,
understand.
it's DC. How often is he going swimming in DC? It's going to be cold and crappy most of the time.
most of the time, but he's got a place to go in the summer. Again, beautiful, beautiful home. I want people to look at the delta between your lifestyle living in a
Right.
split level house and this
Split
level
level
of
house. I got one room
whatever.
here.
Okay, but the people living in suburbia, right? You live in suburban New Jersey, suburban Ohio, suburban Indiana. Nobody, who the hell is living like this?
Oh, he's got
Who's
a
got
rock
this
climbing
kind of a
wall.
lifestyle? Dude, in the gym, and this is Brett Baer. This isn't Michael Jordan.
This is a
Brett
long
Baer's
video, isn't it?
and this is just a real estate web page we
Yeah.
went to just
Oh,
check
is that the
pool
movie room?
table.
Oh no, that's the virtual golf. This is the movie
That's the,
theater.
right. This is the
Wow.
movie room. Is this spectacular or what? So from a
It's
lifestyle
almost too
perspective,
much, isn't it?
well, this is kind of what I'm getting at. Is like,
Ostentatious, yes.
at what point do you say to yourself, honey, we really do need our own cruise ship?
Yeah, I mean, listen, 4,000 square feet and 5,000 is kind of a big, giant house. How many people are living here, I mean, this thing is like 20,000 square feet.
This is again, it's the
How big is
most
it? Where does it
expensive
take?
1%. I don't know. You have to look at the listing.
16,250 square feet. I mean, if you had
Go
a
through the listing. Share
5,000
with
square
everybody.
foot house,
And it's only on 1.5
5
acres.
bedrooms.
It's only on an acre and a half. That's it. Not
Wait a
even.
minute.
Less than an acre and a half.
7 bathrooms and 5 bedrooms. What is he inviting people over just to drop a deuce? What's he doing in this house?
A lot of places to shower. A lot of bathtubs. So
Brett
pretty
Baer
nice, right? Nice
is the
joint for
weirdest-
$30 million, right?
don't get
Okay.
it.
Let's go to the next link. Okay. Spectacular, right? So this is the Jay Leno. That's the Jay Leno house. Scroll a little bit. Show people a couple photos of that, and we'll go to the next
Oh,
link.
wait. Sorry. We were at this one.
There was
right?
Brett Baer's house. Yeah. So that's Brett Baer. We just went through all that.
Wait a minute. This is a different article about it.
That's okay, but
selling
we
it.
just looked at all the
Oh, wait,
photos.
this is
Yeah,
his Florida mansion now for 16.5, not Washington,
it's
D.C.
not worth.
The guy's got 2.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, that's not even worth looking at though. Compared to
Whoa.
what.
Look at the pool. How could he slum it like this?
Yeah, it's.
But wait a second, though.
compared-
Wait a second.
Yeah, yeah.
You have that big, giant, crazy place. When is he even going to this house?
Like you said, you can't go in the pool in Washington all year.
That's
What are you going to
stupid.
do in the weekend? You find out. This is the lifestyle, man. You got to have one up there, one down in Florida. Here's your
I
house
would
in
have liked
Florida.
to have breakfast up there.
I'll bet you would. So now the thing is,
Poached eggs.
but my point is, whatever it is he's doing, so his job is the town crier. He yells out the news, but he doesn't actually do the work. He just climbs up to the top of the tower and goes at the top of the tower and yells the news. He doesn't go talk to anybody. He's just the guy that at that time of day climbs the tower because he's got the projection from 1426 AD. That's the town crier. What is Brett Baer bringing to the table that he's living this kind of lifestyle?
I don't get it.
All right. Okay, now, if you can do something physical, back in the Roman and the Greek times, we came out with the Olympics, right? The Greeks invented the Olympics to show that we're not all the same. Okay? Victor Wembanyama is not the same as you. Right? Now, you equal as from a mankind perspective, and you should have the same rights, even though he's 7'4", right? So all men are not created equal. This is Kelly Slater's house in Hawaii.
Who's Kelly Slater? Surfer?
He knows how to stand up on a board and ride a wave. Now,
Dude,
if you
this
can
house
stand
is
up on a
amazing.
board, and ride a wave and have a really square jaw, you can have a house like this too. Okay,
It's amazing, isn't it?
phenomenal. And you know who his
Do you want
wife
to know
is,
something?
right?
Who's his wife?
The volleyball player, the 6'2" volleyball player chick.
Who used to be in Sports Illustrated?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Well, I forget her name though.
This is their house in
Wow.
Hawaii, and it's for
But now,
sale for $20 million.
you know what's funny though? This is saying it's in Honolulu, Hawaii.
Yeah.
Okay. So you
Honolulu.
remember the song Puff the Magic Dragon? He lived in
Right.
Honolulu.
That's your 3D. Oh, he
Well,
lived in Honolulu.
Lenny
Lenny
loved
wrote the
Hawaii,
song.
and he used to go vacationing in Hawaii, and he was in Honolulu, and that's somehow how he knew about.
And you know, when I was a little kid, that was the song. It was Puff the Magic Dragon. Like when I
The
was a
story
little
he
kid.
told is that he just typed it out as a poem and left it in the typewriter, and his roommate at, I guess it was Berkeley, was Peter Yarrow. And he took it out of the typewriter and wrote the guitar riff and published the song. And Lenny fought with Peter for the rest of his life. He hated him, but they co-owned the song, and people wanted to make animated movies about it and stuff. And Peter Yarrow was always screwing up the deal, so Lenny didn't like him. Anyway.
All right,
sorry.
we got another minute before we got to go over the patron-only part, where we're going to watch a couple of these videos. We're going to dig in a little bit more and see if we can better understand this lifestyle that it seems some people are leading and what career choices they made to get to this lifestyle. Let's go to the next link real quick before we have to jump over the patron-only portion. And for those of you who are already supporting me, please consider supporting Jason. He was out in Crotona Park in the Bronx doing the coverage for Trump. This is a listing at the Maples. This is $38 million. What do you think of that?
Well, it kind of looks like a museum or something. It's a little square. I don't like that too much.
All right, but it's $38 million.
That's a lot of money for sure.
And there's like a community of them, meaning you got neighbors, right?
But
so everybody
it looks like a giant container home project from YouTube or something. I don't think this is too. Kelly Slater's place is a lot nicer.
All right, so it doesn't appeal to you aesthetically. I'm more interested in the price tag, the fact that there's a neighborhood
It's crazy.
where homes are $38 million in the neighborhood, and the guys next door. So it, like you said, it looks like one of these modern container homes, and they welded together 14 different containers, and now you got a house. Okay. Yeah, $38 million. Very nice.
I like that bathroom, though.
Very nice. We're going to look at the jets. We're going to look at the yachts. We're going to go to Monte Carlo.
The whole place is the shower. That's kind of. Aren't you going to freeze in there? I don't know.
Well, you turn on the steam. Look at the dressing rooms, right? Look at that.
Yeah, this is crazy. What
38 million.
Plant a garden or something? There's just all this grass and no trees, nothing. This is weird. This place. The bedrooms look like jail. I don't know. This is a crazy house, man.
Like a hotel. Yeah, guest rooms. Those are your guest rooms downstairs.
I don't think that's a very good house.
$38 million. And again, when you see the yachts, we're going to go to the Rolex Cup, and we're going to watch yacht racing in Sardinia.
Wait a minute now. Your buddy Oracle Larry Ellison loves yacht racing. He has that whole America's Cup
So the thing with America's Cup is that's kind of a small group of billionaires. I want to show you racing where there's 20 100-foot boats at the starting line. You're like, does everybody have one of these? How are there so many of these yachts all over the world? We're going to go shopping for used yachts over $100 million to see how many are available. If we were in the market for something in the $75 to $100 million range, what is there to choose from right now that we could go pick up? And that's what we're going to look at tonight when we get to the patron-only portion of the show.
Isn't this even crazier, though, John? Because I one time saw, maybe it was on an airplane or something, how they're designing this boat. It's like a science experiment. Look, it's not even in the water. It's got some kind of skis down here.
So hydrofoiling is changing the world of yachts and boats and ferries. And there's a new product out called the Flight Board. And I think Mark Zuckerberg invested in the company.
That's
and
their product. His face all white.
But I'll tell you what, pull up. Let's go out on that. Go out on flight board because a flight board is $12,000, and it's the kind of toy that somebody who lives in this lifestyle kind of has to have right now. So if you have one of these homes on the water,
holy crap!
go to their website. Go to the flight board website if you can, because these are knockoffs potentially. Go to the flightboard.com.
No, it says 12,000. Flight board order now. There's one 4,000.
Yeah, now scroll a little bit and show people the different models. Yeah, there you go. So these things are pretty serious. And this is kind of the hot new toy. Yeah, there you go. Everybody's doing the flight things.
Ride the future. Smash your face into the ocean hard.
So
what are you going to do with your phone on that thing? You're going to go right in the water.
I think the phone tells you where you just went, how fast you went, shows all that kind of stuff, and tells you your energy consumption.
$12,000. It seems it's a little bit out of the budget, John. Maybe next year.
Maybe
for Christmas.
Maybe. I'm excited though. I'm excited to show you this world of wealth, and then see if we can figure out why is there such a gap. Jay Leno's living one hell of a lifestyle. Servants, and man, oh man, oh man. And these are just the toys, the $12,000 toy for these guys. And they probably have 3 or 4 of them. What are you going to do? Buy one of them? And then what? Everybody's going to sit and watch you try?
Yeah, you need some for your friends.
Right.
Look, so this is 17,000.
There you go. That's a carbon fiber one. So 8, now, yeah. So for $50,000-$60,000 now, you're the sport. You're the guy who's got a couple of these things on the waterway in Miami.
So it's just a little propeller down there and a hydrofoil, and then you stand on this, and it electric, probably battery in this, and it.
The battery technology is incredible. These guys did a sealed battery. This is phenomenal.
The whole board is probably a battery, and
it's incredible. It's great technology. I love it. I love what they're doing, but they're $10,000 for.
This is all batteries in there.
It's crazy. It's like, wow. But this is when you're playing at this level, like we were talking about privately, the helicopter barely makes the cut. They're only $3 million. So having a helicopter for the yacht is like, I spent more on that on the upholstery. The upholstery we did, right? We did the Alcantara upgrade. That was more than $3 million. The helicopter for $3 million is nothing. $3.5 million for a heli, but I got to pay a pilot now. Unless my girlfriend is what's her face?
Yeah, the submarine pilot.
Lauren Sanchez. Lauren Sanchez is also helping.
Wow, I didn't know that. All these helicopter pilots. You could probably get a good deal buying Diddy's yacht, although I think he rented his. Listen, we'll be right back in less than 5 minutes. Everybody should join us on subscribestar.com/IamJohnCullen, patreon.com/IamJohnCullen, odyssey.com/@crowdsourcethetruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, and subscribestar.com and patreon.com/crowdsourcethetruth. Remember, look at this wealth gap. This is a good new topic here with Cullen. We'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.